One of the most interesting things about writing down your soul is that in the first 3.5 years that I wrote this way, I actually didn't know what I was doing or why it worked so amazingly. I know that my entire life was transformed. I know that my income went from $12,000 to $108,000. I know all these wonderful things happened, but I honestly didn't know why. So when Canary Press gave me the contract to write this book, the first thing I did was start digging into the scientific explanation for writing at the soul level. Because either I'm an extraordinarily special person that I can have a dialogue with the divine on the page, but maybe you can't, or this has to work for everybody. And if it works for everybody, then there has to be a scientific underpinning. So to understand that, I began with Dr. James Pennebaker, the chair of the science department at the University of Texas in Austin, and the man who has done 30+ years of research on the efficacy of writing to heal. I highly recommend the book, but I captured the height, the essence, the part that you want to know in a few pages in Writing Down Your Soul in a chapter called Why Write? Dr. Pennebaker, in his research, discovered that when you write and talk about your feelings about what happened and what actually happened, here's what happens to you. Lower blood pressure, higher immune function, better physical health for a full 6 months after writing for just 4 days. Reduced anxiety, reduced depression, and I love this one, an improved ability to fight infection. Why? Because writing increases the amount of active T lymphocytes in your body. Do you know what T lymphocytes are? They're the agents that destroy cancer cells. Writing heals. So after I finished a lot of study of Pennebaker's work, I know writing heals, but I didn't understand why. And for that, I needed to go to the underpinning of what's going on in your brain. And I spent a lot of time with Candace Pert in this particular book, Molecules of Emotion. She's the woman that discovered that your emotions are not in your heart, your emotions are not in your brain, your emotions are in every single cell of your body as neuropeptides. Not an easy book to read. So let me give you the paragraph from that book, Molecules of Emotion, that explains why writing down your soul heals. The brain's only food is glucose. I'm reading to you from Molecules of Emotion. The brain's only food is glucose, which is carried to the brain in the blood. Blood flow is closely regulated by those emotional peptides that she discovered, which signal receptors on the blood vessel walls to constrict or dilate, constrict or dilate. If our emotions are blocked due to denial, repression, or trauma, think about me sitting in the living room crying for 3.5 months, then blood flow can become chronically constricted, depriving the frontal cortex of vital nourishment. This leaves you foggy, less alert, limited in your awareness, and thus limited in your ability to intervene in the conversation of your body-mind to make new decisions that could change your physiology or behavior. In other words, you may become stuck. Who knew that unexpressed traumatic experiences and emotions are actually starving your poor brain? No wonder you feel stuck. But now, as you pour your story out in divine dialogue on the page, all of those stories rush forward, and they're now out of your body and on the page. So I thought, ooh, I have a lot to say here. I understand the science behind writing down your soul. But there was a third piece coming, and the third piece is brainwaves. It turns out that when you write this way, you writing very, very quickly all of the 7 steps to get into the theta brainwave state that I'm going to teach you. You get beyond the journaling stage. You get beyond the alpha brainwave, and you touch the magic, the theta brainwave state. This is the only brainwave state in which you have access to breakthrough thinking, true creativity, solutions you cannot come up with on your own. And that's the magic. Yes, there's all kinds of information from psychology. Yes, there's magnificent information from neurobiology, but it all comes together to change your life when you can write in the theta brainwave state. You join me in writing down your soul and learn how to activate the theta brainwave state on the page, writing down your soul.